Hey guys, Ollie here from Local Knowledge. Today I want to talk to you about rail rod fishing. Fortunately for us, Penn has just come out with an awesome set of rail rods. The lightest rod that they're offering is like 60 to 100 and the heaviest rod is going to be 80 to 150. On the heavy rail rod, the 80 to 150, I'm putting a 50 VISX on there. I like the 50 because it holds a ton of line, and I also like the topless VISX model because it's just easy to put line on the reel while you're fighting a fish, and also narrow reels tend to work better for rail rod applications because there's less wobble when you're cranking. On this rod, the medium 80 to 130 rod, I'm usually putting a 30 on, and then on the 60 to 100 rod, I'm gonna put an international 20. So I've got a 20, a 30, and a 50. All three of these are plenty strong enough to handle a very big fish. So the most important thing about getting a rail rod is a really strong forward cushion. The reason this needs to be strong is because you're gonna use this part of the rail rod as your pivot point. And you're gonna use the rail of the boat or other object as your fulcrum. When we're fishing a fish, like this is typically gonna be in the rod holder while we're flying the kite. We get bit, comes out of the rod holder immediately, we're winding as fast as we can, now we're tight. As soon as we're tight to that fish, the fish is probably gonna go squirrely to start off with. That might mean doing a couple of laps around the CV. You really aren't trying to win anything at this part of the fight, you're just keeping that fish tight. Once that fish gets what we call straight up and down, or you've got them underneath the boat, making circles, I'm gonna lay this rod on the rail. This is my fulcrum, this is my lever. I'm gonna put the rod underneath my elbow like this. I'm gonna probably palm the side of the reel or just hold the handle, and I'm gonna apply pressure using my body weight. And that's the whole secret. This is allowing you to use the biggest muscle groups in your body, which is really your butt and your legs, in order to work that fish. Now, we do a couple of other things to cheat it because we're on a center console, the rails aren't as high as on a party boat. You'll see on our boat, once we get the fish settled in, we're using those taco tridents, which are really made for sail fishing, so you have your sail rod and your kite rod and your bait rod right next to each other. And we're using that so a taller guy like myself or Rush doesn't have to squat down as much. And the key to rail rodding is that fish, once he gets under the boat, he's gonna start doing circles. If you imagine the 12 o'clock position when the fish is farthest away from you, and then the 6 o'clock position when the fish is closest to you, you only really want to apply pressure when the fish is coming at you. So I tell guys once they get to about 11 o'clock to get ready and start winding. And as that fish is coming at you from 11 o'clock all the way down to about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the fish is coming towards you and you can easily gain line. Then once the fish starts going away, just lean back a little bit, put a little bit of extra pressure on him, make that fish really earn that extra line as he's pulling. Put a little pressure on him with the rod, load the rod tip, and just let the fish fight the rod. If you get slack, take up the slack. Get line when it's easy, apply a little extra pressure when it's not. That fish will just start to kind of corkscrew up from underneath the boat. I know it's controversial, but there is really no better way to catch multiple fish from a stationary boat. And aside from being a deadly tool to pull on fish, the mobility you have around the boat, around the motors, is just unparalleled. In my mind, if you're catching big tuna from a stationary boat, nothing beats using the rail rod technique. I hope these tips will help you out. If you've enjoyed watching this, please click the subscribe button below and let us know in the comments what else you'd like to see. Thanks so much for watching.